welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to be maybe fixing up a few fences that I had the guy with me yesterday, schooner, and we were fencing all day, and I'll just show you. I forgot the camera, but I'll show you what we were doing. An awful lot of fencing, but I see the cows have broke out again in another spot, so they must have created another hole. But in the last video saying where they broke the strainer, we renewed all that and we put in new posts, and then another spot down here. I'll show you in this video anyway. And we'll probably be mowing and baling and wrapping this week as well. Like this is Tuesday morning and it's absolutely spilling rain again. But tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday is to be middling, so I'm going at it. I think I'm going to probably mow about 50 acres and see can we get it baled and wrapped on Thursday, because it's to be wet the weekend again. So there's no end to it. So the only way is try and get a little bit done. It's not ideal, but anyway, if we could get 50 acres out of the way, it'd be something out of the way. So yeah, I'll just show you the fences. Some of the fences, we done a fence out here just under the yard, and we just stuck up the sheep wire. I need to put barbed wire on it, and then where we put about 200 stakes or 150 stakes up where I have the ewes, we call it the hill up there, where the fence was gone bad and it needed more stakes in it, so we put all stakes in it, but I actually haven't stapled it up because I thought I was going to run out of staples to do this job here. So I just need to staple that up as well, but I've ordered more staples anyway, probably come tomorrow. Like, this is Tuesday morning, and thank God I done my video this morning, last week's video, and it's gone out today. So like, this video will be coming out Friday, but just to say that this is Tuesday morning and it has gone out, it has worked finally. So that's the story. There'll be loads happening in this video, if it'll stop raining. I need to get the cows back and see where they've made a gap again. Like, even next spring, that's pushing it out. Next spring, there's an awful lot of fencing to be done. So yeah, we'll get back to it. I actually found now where the cows are getting out. It wasn't a big job to find it, but it's a fence I had sort of patched up before, but there, and I had a gate in that. There's a section of fence here, probably just up to the end of the bushes. I wouldn't have to do the whole thing, just up to the end of the bushes there. It would need to be cleaned off, and it needs to be redone, and fairly soon, because I just have the cows shut up in the other part now, and they'll be all right there for a while, because I'll be shutting up there now for calving anyway. So I just need to strip this off, stick in strainers and renew the whole thing, because it's gone terrible. But I'll show you now. I'm going back over to where I had other cattle. The fence we done yesterday, like, that's just a miserable day. Like, I was even in the house there a few days, and you're considering turning on the heating. It's unbelievable weather, and the ground's wet now. Bales are going to be heavy and wet. Maybe tear up some of the fields doing silage. It's just unbelievable. People are talking about global warming and heat waves, and like, okay, June might have been the hottest month on record, but July must be the wettest, you know what I mean? Like, they never take into consideration the wet months, and the whole winter was wet, you know what I mean? Like, there was 1 month there in February or March that was dry, and then April was feckin' stinker wet as well. Like, the whole winter was ringing wet. So anyway, look at, we'll just going over to this other fence now we done yesterday, and some of the fence we done yesterday. It's just I'll go down around the end there as well and show you. This is sort of just a rough area, and it's sort of linked to the bog, and you can see there's the ditch is there, but every time I was patching that and trying to put stakes down that, you always had to do it by hand, and you could never get it tight and a good job, and you couldn't get strainers down. So I've just decided, I've been threatening to do it for years, is to put a new fence around it, and at least that'll be linked to the bog, and like, the deers were tearing it down as well, and if cattle were in there, they were getting in and out there. It was just a nightmare. So I put a new fence here, and even anytime I was trying to get sheep out or anything like that, out through that gate, if you're getting sheep out through that gate, they used to always run in here under the trees. But like, look at that muck. Look at the muck and the water. Look at the muck, like, it's just muck sliding all over the place. I'll just show you this. This is where I have the young cattle, some of the young heifers that I'll be keeping. So just we went that whole way down there. I need to put, that's stapled up now and all, but I just need to put barbed wire on it. Like, that's how tight it is. We have it real good and tight. Now you're losing a little bit, like a little bit of ground in there, maybe for grazing, you know what I mean. But if you have anything in the bog, they can get back in on the bog side, because they have that fence tore down on the ditch, you know what I mean. Like, this just, it's linked to the bog. It's a bit of rough ground, trees. And if you ever had cows and calves in here, young cows and calves, and you wanted to get them, the cows always come into this rough area with the baby calves, and it was a feckin' nightmare to get them out of it. So we've just fenced that down along now and shut it off, that whatever's in this field now won't go in there, and you can get them out through the top gate. And actually, you can see here where I had started to top this field, and it needs to be done. There's a lot of docks and rubbish in it. Someone collected the PTO for me yesterday, so I need to see what's that like, and maybe we get that done today as well. Get the PTO onto the topper. More than likely it'll need to be cut for it to fit the tractor, so I just want to see it's the right one, because where I got it, they're 9 times out of 10 they'll give you the wrong one. So we just need to check that out. So that's the fence. And then, yeah, as I said earlier in the video, we put about 150 stakes up on the hill where the ewes are, and that just needs to be stapled up as well. So there's loads happening. Just forgot to say, there's actually a plastics collection next Saturday locally, so I'm just actually loading up some of the plastic into the trailer, and it's going to be, we have to pay, I think it's actually €70 a tonne, and it's going to be ringing wet now. It's going to weigh an awful lot more than what it actually is, and we'll have to pay for it. We've paid through the nose as it is already for plastic. It goes up every year, and we just have to take it, and then we have to pay for disposing of it as well. The farmer just pays for everything. But anyway, we have to do it, and that's it. It gets rid of it off the farm, which is a good thing. But like, I actually missed last year because I was at hay or silage or something like that, and I just couldn't go because they have it in the middle of the summer when everyone's busy, which is, I think, is mental. But so I have a lot there. There's a lot there. I probably have 2 full trailer load to go. I would say now I'm going to squash it well down into it, but the only thing about that is it mightn't come out of it. But I think they have a grab that will take it out of it anyway if it doesn't tip up. So yeah, probably have 2 loads. It's going to be a couple of €100 to get rid of the plastic, I'd say. But anyway, be good to get rid of it. Just going to get down now and fork up the few bits on the ground. Bits keep falling out. I'm just using the soft hands to grab it. It's probably just the easier way out of it rather than using the fork on the tractor. It'd be falling off everywhere. So I'm just using the soft hands to sort of grab it and then put it into the trailer, and then it'll just squash it down after. So I actually found now where the cows are getting out. It wasn't a big job to find it, but it's a fence I had sort of patched up before, but there, and I had a gate in that. There's a section of fence here, probably just up to the end of the bushes. I wouldn't have to do the whole thing, just up to the end of the bushes there. It would need to be cleaned off, and it needs to be redone, and fairly soon, because I just have the cows shut up in the other part now, and they'll be all right there for a while, because I'll be shutting them up there now for calving anyway. So I just need to strip this off, stick in strainers and renew the whole thing, because it's gone terrible. But I'll show you now. I'm going back over to where I had other cattle, the fence we done yesterday. Like, that's just a miserable day. Like, I was even in the house there a few days, and you're considering turning on the heating. It's unbelievable weather, and the ground's wet now. Bales are going to be heavy and wet. Maybe tear up some of the fields doing silage. It's just unbelievable. People are talking about global warming and heat waves, and like, okay, June might have been the hottest month on record, but July must be the wettest, you know what I mean? Like, they never take into consideration the wet months, and the whole winter was wet, you know what I mean? Like, there was 1 month there in February or March that was dry, and then April was fucking stinker wet as well. Like, the whole winter was ringing wet. So anyway, look at, we'll just going over to this other fence now we done yesterday, and just to show you there, we took all the rubbish here. We put a new strainer down for that gate, and we put new wire on that, but I just hadn't bored a hole in the strainer for the gate. I just tied it with a bit of rope, and I showed you the hole down the far side there where the cows had broke. Your man Schooner's coming with me again tomorrow, and we're going to fix that, and because I thought I was going to be mowing today and baling tomorrow, but like, it rained some rain yesterday again, so that's off the cards again. So he's coming with me tomorrow, and we're going to do another full day of fencing. So, but the cows have got the taste of this breaking out now, and they're back down in the feckin' where I spread the dung there. I have to go get them again. It's just where I may drill that tomorrow. I hadn't drilled a hole in it, and I just had it tied with a bit of rope, and they feckin' broke the rope and they pushed it open, and they've got the taste of that now. It could be a bit of a nightmare to try and keep them in, and I never had that problem before. It's just where the fence was bad where they broke down. It wasn't a big job to break it down. It needed to be renewed. So there's probably about 50 metres or 60 metres that we need to completely renew. I won't do the whole thing, because I haven't got, we need to clear off bushes and everything, but I'm just going to do the basics and get it fixed tomorrow. I don't know whether it'll be in this video or not, because there's quite a bit in this video. But yeah, even over the other side where I was saying that in the last video, I had stapled up some of that, but even way over the far side there was a hole, and when I had Schooner here, we put loads more stakes down in it. We pushed them down with the loader, so it's more or less not too bad now, because when I put them in, I'll be putting them in here for the calving at the back of the house so I can see them, and it's quite a tight spot here. There's not a lot of acres in it, and I'll be keeping them tight. So I wanted fence, but like, as I said there just a minute ago, they've got the taste now of fucking getting out. It could be a job to keep them in. So probably want to try and get that PTO onto the topper today, and maybe we'll do a bit of topping as well. It'll need to be cut, so I'll sort out these cows first, and then we get back to that and see. Just to show you these meadows as well. These are all meadows. Look, they're fecking ringing wet, and they're down and everything. Oh, it's such a disaster. Oh, there's a lamb in here as well again. I just can't keep stock in the right spot at the minute. But anyway, oh, I see where they've pushed that gate, and the rope's gone off it again. So we might have to renew a lot of gates, but we might maybe tomorrow as well put down new strainers and hang gates in various spots as well, just to see can we stop this onslaught of cattle and sheep getting out. We are actually back mowing. I said earlier in the video I wouldn't be mowing, but I have to mow. I've just finished mowing that. There's only about 4 acres in it, but I said when I had the mowers on, there was a bit I was going to mow for myself that I've taken off a lad. I don't know what's in it, 10 or 15 acres, but I buy it off and buy the bale, so I'm not worried how many acres in it. There's probably close, there's over 10 anyway, so I'm going to mow that now and bale it tomorrow. And then I have a couple, 2 baled. This will want to be baled on Friday, and another guy wants some baled on Friday as well. So there's rain coming in, I think, Friday evening, and Saturday the weekend again. So look, it's just a little bit more done, But I have a good bit of haylage to do. Like, I've about 25 acres to do there that I need done now. and then I have about another 100 acres or 150 acres to do, but that won't be done till August, you know what I mean? But I've only 11 bales left to supply the guy that I supply, and I've nothing else made, so I'm in trouble there. I'll have to look for some. But that's just the weather. For the foreseeable, it's not giving anything different. Even into the middle of next week, there's been nothing different, only broken weather. And like, I'm after mowing that there now, like, and a lot of this stuff that I've to mow is still only first cut, you know what I mean? We're quite high, as I've said in a good few videos, we're quite high where we are, and everything would be maybe a week or 2 weeks behind everyone else. But like, a lot of the stuff I have to do as well, like, I've another 15 and 7 is 22 acres of silage to do as well, plus the 25 of haylage, and then another 150 of haylage. So like, that's just an awful lot of stuff to do yet, and then for other people as well. But anyway, the bit I'm going to now is a bit browy, so I'd say it's wet, so we'll see how we get on. Just mowing away here now on this bit. It's wet underneath, it's well wet underneath, but sure, look, it's not ideal conditions, but we just have to get some of it done, and that's just the way it is. So I'll be baling it up tomorrow. It's heavy enough crop, heavy enough now, and I'm just going handy. I'm going handy enough. I'm well impressed with the tractor. And some of this ground is browy. I don't know whether you can actually see the next field in there is quite browy, and the ground's quite wet, so we'll just have to see how we go. I certainly don't like browy ground, and I'm certainly not good on it because I'm not used to browy ground. We don't have hilly ground ourselves, but anyway, this is ground I have taken just for the cut of silage, and I do a lot of that. I probably have another 150 acres to cut where I'm just ground taken for a cut of silage. So yeah, I'm only crawling at about 7.5k. But I'm well impressed with the tractor, as in crops are heavy, and I didn't think this tractor maybe be able for the front mower and the back mower at the same time. And like, as I say, some of the ground is browy and it's going up hills, and I'm not going that hard, but like, she's well able for it, so I'm happy enough with that as well. But like, I won't say tearing up the ground, but like tearing up the ground a little bit there, already you can see it turning and at the headland. So yeah, it's wet. There's been showers passing across, but look, we've that much to do that we just have to get on with it. But field out there as well. It's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but we just have to get on with it. I'd say this will be getting close to the end of this video anyway. I'll have to check the camera tonight, and sure, maybe we get some of the baling and the wrapping on it tomorrow, and then that'll probably be it. back from the mowing there. I'm just going to get me dinner. I don't know what time it is. I have my phone in my pocket. It's probably 7 o'clock-ish. So I'm going to finish off this video, and we'll put the baling and the wrapping tomorrow into the next video. So again, if you liked it, give it a like. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate everyone watching and the support. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we will catch you at the next one. Good luck.